Tell him how funny I think his joke is. Tell him if he makes another one, then I'm going to have to break this urinal with his face. Right? Not very meek. In fact, if you ask me, that was the definition of weakness. My actions right there. They were not humble. They were very proud. You see, it's not very easy to get me angry, but when one insults my school, I get very angry. Now, I'm going to share with you a couple of some more stories that can better define you what humility and meekness is. So if you look in the Bible, in the book of John, there's a story that Jesus tells us about it's a parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector. And now the story goes that the Pharisee and the tax collector are both in the temple praying. And the Pharisee looks up to God and he's saying, I am awesome. Thank you for making me awesome. I give tithes to the poor, fast, I'm a big shot, I'm a Pharisee, everybody loves me. He gets tax collector, and he can't even look up. He says, I'm a crook, I'm a thief, I'm a thug, I'm a swindler. Right? I don't deserve you. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve redemption. All right, now whose heart is righteous? Who's considered the righteous one here? You see, the Pharisees' actions are more righteous than the tax collectors, but the condition of the heart is definitely different between the two. One is proud and one is meek. All right, fast forward. Jesus is sentenced to death. Now, it's tradition that on a holy day, the Jews, if they were putting somebody to death, would offer up somebody to be released in return via a vote on behalf of the general public. Now, the Pharisees had rigged it that the general public would vote Barabbas to be freed and Jesus to be crucified. Now, we don't know much about Barabbas. We just know that he's a thug and he's a crook. And he deserves a change and he deserves a crucifixion. Right? This Jesus guy, not everybody knows so much about him. They know that he's probably innocent and that he's been preaching things that they might not agree with. But they know that as far as murder, thievery, crookedness, nothing has happened. He doesn't deserve his death. Right? So who do you want? We want Barabbas. Right? So Barabbas comes down. He's freed. And there's no recollection of Barabbas looking at Jesus and saying, you know what, man, I deserve this. You don't. This is me. I deserve what you're about to get through. No. What happens is Barabbas walks down to the crowd and he cheers and he joins his thug friends, and there's no humility there. It's pride. He lets Jesus take what's his. And Jesus stands there with meekness and humility, knowing that he's righteous, yet allowing this to happen, allowing this man to be free. Third story, when Jesus is put to death, there's two men that are put to death to each side. There's a thief and a murderer on each side of him. They're hanging on the crosses. One of them cries out, he is a murderer, a thief, a crook. He knows it. He doesn't. He deserves to die. The other one, in his pride, mocks the two of them. He's not willing to admit that he was wrong. His pride has gotten the better of him. He knows he was wrong, but he is so caught up in it's all about me that he's not willing to admit it. You see, so I backtrack to my story, what I was talking about earlier, with my actions. Now, a lot of people would say, that's pretty cool, man. You stood up to that kid and you said what you did, but if I was acting humble, I probably would have, instead of approaching this kid, would approach my friend, pull him to the side, and said, hey, don't listen to that guy, let's go. But my pride got the best of me. I look at myself and I think I'm awesome. I'm an awesome person. I go to the Citadel, I'm a senior. I'm cadre 2 meters, something I'm dreaming about since I was a knob. I help handicapped people bowl. You know, I feed the homeless. I hold the door. I do all these things. So on paper, I look great, but what is the condition of my heart? You know? I'm like the Pharisee that says, I'm so great, thank you for making me so great. I'm like Barabbas. Lets things go and say it's somebody else's problem. See traction, it's not my problem. Let somebody else pick it up later. See somebody do something wrong. I'll let somebody else do with that. I'm a thief on the cross, but is too proud to admit he was wrong. You see, on paper, I look great, and the world loves me for it. You see, if the condition of your heart lies with crooks, thieves, and murderers, it doesn't matter what it says on paper. You're a crook, and you're a thief, and you're a murderer. Thank you.